I'm Madelyn Gaffin and I have a dollhouse. I first got my dollhouse, I think when I was very young, because I got it from my sisters. It was a hand-me-down. I like how versatile they are. I like that you can buy a bunch of furniture, buy a bunch of different dolls, and they're all just kind of fun. You can do whatever you want with them.
You know, when I was a kid, a lot of people had dollhouses, but nobody had one like mine, because that was what you had. We didn't have television, we didn't have things like that, you know. So you played with different things. I like because you can pretend that it's yours and make it the way you want it, you know.
I like to play with it a lot with people when I have play dates and stuff, especially if they love Barbies, because I just like having fun with the different voices and everything, and it's just hard to control all of them at once. Sometimes I wish I could shrink some real life things down and put them in the dollhouses. I want to live in both of the dollhouses so I can go in that bed and those beds because there's bunk beds in them.
The dollhouse was my mother's, built for her by my grandfather. So I would say that she was about 5 years old when it was built. So probably 1930 to 35, somewhere in that range. And so it has come down through the family, and my sister and I both played with it, and then my daughter played with it, and then my granddaughter played with it. Granddaughter has a bakery.
I'm Ron, of Ron's Miniature Shop, and I'm the one that designs a lot of the projects.
My name is Richard Laferriere, and I moved down here, like say, in 1989 from Vermont, and I've been with the store since its inception in 1989, and expect to be here and even to the day it closes.
Well, we do make a lot of our own things here if we can't find it. Like I have coach lamps that I'm doing right now, which are these little guys here. These are just like a little dollar thing that people stick them on little projects here and there. I like the creativity of it the most. I like being able to take something and maybe changing it to suit what I want and remake things.
I love the fact that the hobby itself is very diversified. In other words, you can, a lot of people do doll houses, and a lot of people, decorate the doll houses. So you have a situation where if you love to build, then you can build a dollhouse. And if you love to decorate, you can decorate a dollhouse.
I think a dollhouse is one of the places that you can really use as much imagination as possible. And a lot of scenarios from real life are played out, or fake life, or TV, and it's so silly. There's nothing else like it.
We were families, and what the family did, and the arguments, like any family, because we lived in the dollhouse, the family lived in the dollhouse, and therefore we kind of mimicked what the family did.
My name is Jennifer Justice. I am a registered clinical mental health intern and marriage and family therapist. I love to work with children and see how play really opens up their minds, really opens up their emotions. Well, the way we have our playroom set up, we have different items for the children. Now we also have dollhouses. Dollhouses are wonderful interventions for children because they actually can act out the scenarios that are going on in the home. So in many times we'll have children that come in that are emotionally dysregulated, or the child may be having issues with domestic violence, or there may be issues of sexual abuse, and they can actually use these dolls and use these mediums to begin to start acting out and processing and playing through the scenarios that had happened to them. And as a therapist, a play therapist, what we do is we observe the child. We let them play out those things when they feel safe in that space, because then it starts to reveal a lot of the things that have happened in their life. So it's very valuable in that regard for children.
I think something about the dollhouse is just so classic, but they're able to modernize it really easy because everyone has a house, everyone has a family, so it's really easy for kids to, the Barbie dollhouses now have an elevator. My dollhouse didn't have an elevator. They just change and they evolve to keep kids entertained.
I think the younger generation is more into instant gratification, buy it already done, not so much making. We don't have as many artisans making handcrafted stuff like we used to. The sad part about it is the miniature business is changing.
We're dealing with an older clientele now, as unfortunately the kids haven't caught on to doing the hobby just yet, but they will.
I think maybe it'll come back a different way. I think the young kids are going to demand it to be more electronics. I think the dolls will actually start moving more. I think toasters and things like that will pop up. I think there'll be a lot of different things coming up in the future. But right now we're still back in the dark ages.
I mean, dollhouses have been a thing since forever. Like, you go way back in time and there's like little dolls that they find in tombs and stuff. And so I think dolls are just kind of they're a forever thing.
Bringing them into adulthood is nice because of the fact of it something of your childhood still stays with you.